What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer, guys, back yet again. More Halo Wars 2 action. We're going to be doing some 1v1 ranked duel here on Blitz, but that's really just going to be some background gameplay. Pretty interesting game, got some pretty good plays. But the real focus for this is I want to talk Colony DLC now that we've had our hands on it for a little while, and just give my impressions. Overall, I will say up front, I'm a fan of this DLC. I think it was done really well. I think the patches and the balances that they enacted when this DLC went live are good for the most part. I think it's definitely opened up more strategies. I don't necessarily think it nerfed a ton of strategies, which is nice. There was some discussion on some earlier videos talking about, buffs are always better than nerfs. And for the most part, I would agree. I don't think they should really be taking a lot of strategies out of the game. I do think that they should be trying to make other leaders more viable and other strategies more viable, and then provide the capability to maybe counter some of those really popular strategies. You're never going to be able to get all of them, but I do think this was a good forward progress step. Me and Sloth have been playing more multiplayer. I've been playing more ones as well, and the games definitely seem to have more variety, which is nice. That's what I want. Me personally, I want to be able to play a variety of different games. I want to be able to change strategy on the fly and kind of have some diversity in the gameplay. And I think this patch, this most recent balance changes, I think they've moved forward in the right direction to do that. And like I said, I also like the fact that they're trying to make other leaders capable of being in the conversation, capable of being selected, when previously there were just some leaders that you absolutely could not select, which I think that does a disservice to the game, and that does a disservice to people that want to play those leaders, whether they like them for their units or whatever the case may be. So on that front, I think very well. There's obviously more work to be done. There's still bugs and glitches. I was playing some Firefight earlier today, and the blister back being healed by the engineer constantly because it wouldn't recover full health is still something that I saw today. I thought that got fixed, but maybe in this last update it didn't. So there's definitely still bugs and patches and things that need to happen, but I think for this one, like I said, good forward progress. As far as the update itself, as far as the units, as far as Colony as a leader, honestly, great job. I'm a big fan of all of the units. I'm a big fan of multiplayer, what they've done. I'm a big fan of the leader tree. Like I said, we've played a lot of them. I think he's powerful without being overpowered. I really like the Hunter Captain. I think they did a great job with him. And like I said, overall, good leader. And I think they put him into a place, like I said, that's not overpowered but super viable. And it's been kind of a nice change of pace to have some different units. Blitz was a great addition, some new cards, some new leader abilities. Scarred Hunters I'm using right here, big fan of them. Like I said, Hunter Captain's absolutely awesome. I was a little afraid of having the Enduring Locust, but to be honest, I'm a fan of having it for the fact that it brings more variety and you get to start to see more abilities on different units. I think that's a great way to make some variation in the units without really having to bring in a ton of new units or for them to have to create a bunch of new stuff. Enduring Locust, like I said, it was a great addition because it adds Last Stand to a unit that didn't have Last Stand before, and changes some stuff up, and that's really good. I think that was a smart play for them, and I'd like to see some of that stuff kind of in the future, to be honest, because like I said, I think it brings some variety without them having to really probably balance a whole lot, which makes things nice. So overall good. It's finally nice to see a leader that doesn't have a huge absolutely brutal weakness to air. I think that was a smart thing. It seems like they finally, besides Atriox, it seems like they finally brought in a banished leader that people really do want to play. And that leader, honestly, is finally not weak to air. So again, it's nice that was a consideration from the team, and people have been asking for a banished leader to round out the playlist and bring some more options, and I think they've done that here. And I do think they did a good job of listening to the community for the most part in this update. I mean, we won't forget how late the update was, how many issues there were, but again, I definitely am on the side of wanting to have an update that works, the first time. So it does suck, and we won't forget that we had to wait, but at the same time, I am glad we did, because we did get a pretty polished, pretty good update that I think we can all be, generally pretty happy with. So, overall impressions, again, happy with that. Talking about a few of the things that I still think they need to work on and do need to fix. I still don't understand the playlist selections. I mean, I do understand them. I just don't know why they did that, especially for Blitz. It seems like the multiplayer side of it is pretty well rounded. It seems like people were generally happy with that. I look for your comments on this if you are. But I think for the most part, multiplayer was pretty well established and set like they have it. Blitz, however, I don't understand the impact of taking out some of the social aspects. There's been some conversation again on some earlier videos talking about some things with that, and we talked about well, if you don't care about your rank, then just play ranked, and it doesn't matter. You're just going to play the games anyways. And I can definitely agree, and I can see that point. But I do think there's a certain amount that you do a disservice to, some of the people that want to play ranked, want to have high competition. They want to go against people that aren't trying strategies. They want to have, people that are balanced and, know the game, and that's why they're there. They're there for good competition. So, I kind of see, like I said, I see different sides of it. I see different points of view for it, and I think they go one of two ways in the future. I think they either go completely for ranked only, which, then people are still going to complain, but at least ranked is ranked and that's what you get. Or I think you go kind of middle of the road. I think if you added 2v2 socials, I don't think it would hurt the player base too much for the 2v2 structure. I think people would still be able to find the games, and I think you probably generally make everybody happy there. Again, you're never going to be able to make everybody happy unless you have everything, and we kind of saw a little bit of that earlier where they did try to have a lot of different stuff, a lot of different playlists, and I think the population for the game, with it being kind of on a decline, didn't make that viable. Not enough people were getting into the games. Searching games was taking too long. So we kind of have to remember that as well. For those of us that are still playing, still hanging out, and again, the monthly DLCs are great because I think they do reinvigorate the player base. You get people back into the game, but still fixes to be done. Being able to see ranks post-game. You can't do it prior to, because people are going to back out. They're not going to want to play people of higher ranks. I do think showing it post-game, though, to kind of see where you stack up, to kind of understand how games play out and, what it does to your actual MMR post the game, I think is important. I think there's still a lot of confusion out there. There's definitely confusion on my side about how it's calculated versus what your opponent had and what rank they were. And being able to see those would be nice. A lot of people have said, and I agree with them here, more blitz maps. Another blitz map. I know that's tough, but it would be interesting to be able to do maybe a 5-point map where you have 4 points in a corner and 1 center point, or you do a 3-point setup and you move the ridges around. That way there's just some variability and some difference in the map, because I think people at this point have gotten pretty used to one single strategy of trying to get up onto OP Ridge for the most part, and that's fine, but I think Blitz is a little bit more involved than that, than just slamming your units down and trying to get into certain fights. And I think having another map would be a great way to do that, and more multiplayer maps too. For those of you that like really hardcore play multiplayer, I'm sure you're getting sick of seeing the same 8 maps. So having some more differences there. And then lastly, something that they've talked about bringing out that we haven't seen yet is campaign. People are asking for campaign DLC. It was promised. I really hope it comes in this next one, because that would be another good change of pace. There are people that really don't get too involved into the multiplayer aspect. They like the firefight side of it. Maybe they like doing AI or skirmish matches, and then they like the campaign. I think adding some more story elements, us finally seeing those campaign side pieces that they promised, I think that would really help to kind of reinvigorate and keep people in the game. But again, really curious on your thoughts. I've been Doc with Average Gamer, guys. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, comment down below, hit that like button, follow us on Twitter. You can find that in the description below, and join the Xbox Average Gamer Guys Club. good small community there of people looking to play Halo Wars 2 and a lot of other games. But like I said, let me know what you guys think. I am really curious to have the conversation about the Colony DLC. Get your thoughts on it, what you like and don't like. If you disagree with me, totally fine. Let me know. But thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.